Welcome, everybody, to Cup with Gup on this Wednesday, November 11th. A pretty active morning already with Aaron Rodgers news. OBJ may get cut. We had playoff rankings. First one's official out last night. Pretty entertaining evening of college football as well. Near upsets, a lot closer games than what the experts predicted. Made for a fun little sweat on 3-game slate last night. Got a 2-game slate tonight. Braves, man, just put away the Astros. I thought they'd win. Didn't know it'd be, and I thought it'd be a pitcher's duel per se. Went heavy on the Braves, and I had Max in a lot of caps and all that. Had a little run going there late, but didn't have the right combos. Had a good pull there. I faded Garcia, which at first inning or so didn't look good. He was on fire, but the 3-run blast by Soler was impressive. It's good to see him win. Not the biggest baseball person much anymore. Thoroughly enjoy the playoffs and even the World Series, obviously. Braves were my team back in the 90s as well as the Cowboys. And since then, as you heard last night, neither have done well since I was a kid, with Braves winning last in 95, which is actually, I mentioned this on Twitter last night, the last time the Cowboys won Super Bowl. So that'd be kind of cool if they both win. It was a good series. Braves just seemed destined, some of the stuff they had to go through in general. Going to talk a little college playoff ranking and my thoughts on that quickly. And then we'll get up to our final thoughts for Mayakoba this week. Should be a great tournament. Give my monkey knife fight plays for the week. And then we'll get out of here. Use the code CUP for 20% off any package, which includes a 7-day risk-free trial. It's a great week to try it out. Got more college football tonight. PGA kicking off tomorrow. NFL tomorrow. NFL Sunday. NASCAR's final races this weekend. Got y'all covered on all those. And then a big UFC card on Saturday. I know Tommy will be deep diving into that, and our GC Warrior Room has a lot of sharp minds in there that shares their opinion, as well as Follow the Money. He's in there. He's a good guy. Got his old podcast, Parlay and Pray. If you guys want to go check out that podcast as well, he's in our GC Warrior Room, and him and Tommy do a good job going back and forth. Listener League for NFL Week 9 is up. It'll be in this description. Let's get that full 200 spots, 3 max, flat payout structure, limited rake. Rate and review us on iTunes. So here's what I'm going to do. We'll see how long this goes. I want you to rate and review us. Take a screenshot of it and DM me. If you're a member, you can send it to me in Slack, or if you're not, you can send it to me on Twitter. And I'll probably let it go all this week. And then we'll do the Millie. I'm going to give away some Millie tickets, for next week. So I'll probably do it. I'll probably just let it run like a week. And depending on how many I get sent to me will determine how many I give away. I want to give away a bunch. So rate and review this right now on iTunes. Even if you've done it before, you can go ahead and do it again. It doesn't stop you. And just, screenshot it. Let me know you did it. And then I will put you in the drawing. And then the more we get, the more I give away. I'll be talking about it today, and then I'll do it tomorrow on the coin flip and the hot route with Ryan, just to remind you guys. And then probably mention it on Smash Factor Monday. And probably give it away a week from tomorrow, maybe on the hot route with Ryan. So it gives you guys the most time to get those in. I'll remind you on Twitter as well. Subscribe and like us on YouTube. That goes a long way in itself. In the comment section, I will still do giveaways for this. Tell me who you want to play in the 8K range this week for the Mayakoba. Seems to be a fairly popular range. Tell me your favorite play in the 8K range. Underdog, you can now get up to $100 match when you deposit up to $100. They got pick'ems for college football, PGA, MLB. Now the season's over, but next year, NBA, NFL, NHL, soccer, esports. You can mix and match these sports on your pick'em parlays. Get up to 20x your money. Really like the site. Really like everything they're doing. We can start building our bankroll over there for the best balls that will be dropped in May. Use the code GUP. The link is in the description if you'd like to check that out. So the college football rankings for me, I know everybody gets up in arms about it, and some kind of feel like they want you to do that. A lot of football left. We see this every year. Probably the most interesting deal, Bama being 2 surprises me some. I just think you have to downgrade when you lose. I get it. They probably are the second best team. I'm not doubting that. But you have to, you can't, for some of the things they talk about, you can't, lose as a 20-something point favorite and, not have to at least work your way back up to some extent. You could probably keep them in the top 4, but I think they should have been dropped some. Michigan State, I think that'll take care of itself. They got Ohio State left, big win against Michigan. I get it. Do I think they're the number 3 team in the country? No, I don't. Oregon's an interesting one because you get, the quandary of them putting Ohio State over, undefeated Cincinnati, undefeated Oklahoma. And then, so they couldn't look at Oregon and say, well, you beat this team, we have this high, but you have a bad loss. A relatively bad loss, and their conference isn't that great. People talk about Big 12 being, pretty down in a sense, but Pac-12 isn't that much better. And for that matter, the hyped up SEC, the bottom half of the SEC is pretty much garbage in general. Top heavy, pretty good. But they're no better than Big 12 or anything else. But wins have to matter, or this thing can get out of a spiral in a sense where, if you have equal playing field, and I don't get too much into it now because, again, they always say we're not predicting the future. We're not talking about championships, and all that's a big factor. So I'm interested there because I think just out of the gate, they could have put Cincinnati at 4. Ohio State 5, Oregon 6, 5, 6, whatever. I'm not even saying OU should be up there. I'm fine with where they are. Well, I don't think Michigan should be over. Michigan lost, right? I know we hadn't played we were about to play number 11 and number 12 in the current playoff rankings, Oklahoma State and Baylor. And then Iowa State was ranked in the top 25 until they lost last week. So that'll take care of itself. So I'm fine with that. I'm not voicing that opinion. And I get the Cincinnati deal, who have you beat, but to beat Notre Dame, who you have at 10, so probably the biggest there would be, Michigan. I don't see them as 7 right now. But they still got to play Ohio State. That'll probably take care of itself. And at the end of the day, I think you're going to have, I guess the biggest interesting deal will be Bama beats Georgia. They're both 1 loss. And let's say you have, let's just say Michigan State runs the table. Undefeated Big 10 team is going to get in there. And let's say OU runs the table. I'd still think an undefeated Big 12 team will get in there. So you're going to leave out Oregon. Does Bama get that 4 spot? I'm just, talking down the road. Bama would get in because they know how they won, and they're probably not going to drop Georgia because they're going to say, well, Georgia's only loss is a 1-loss Bama, who's now our probably number 1 seed. So it gets quirky there when you're starting to look about, and most time people spend a lot of time on this. I don't right now because all the scenarios we talk about, by the end of the day, when we get to either championship weekend or before, like 90% of them work themselves out. It's fun to talk about hypothetically. I get that. I get Cincinnati. Cincinnati's offense hasn't looked great. They have a really good D. So, and I get their schedule is going to really hurt them outside of Notre Dame. They really need Notre Dame to keep winning because it looks like a good win as long as that happens. Wake Forest is still undefeated. So there's an ACC, which is kind of funny. And that one of the coaches last night were talking about it is, if that was Clemson, exact same schedule right now, and they were undefeated, no way Clemson would be number 9. They wouldn't be behind a 1-loss Michigan or any of that. So that the name disrespect to an extent, I guess, hurts. And then now, Clemson's down this year. So if that's kind of hurting that ACC. But I go back to, I was like, well, all right, so Clemson dominated last year, but there still wasn't that up. So it was the same difference. So you have to give Wake a little bit of respect there. Especially, at the end of the day, if you wind up having 4 or 5 undefeated teams, there's only 4 spots anyways. What'll be hard is if you have 4 undefeated teams, and then potentially a 1-loss Bama, 1-loss Georgia. Where do they start drawing the line there? You could have, a 1-loss Ohio State who looks really good, 1-loss Oregon be a Pac-12 champion. It'll tend to work itself out. Like I said, if Georgia's as dominant as everybody perceives them to be, they should beat Bama. There's no way a 2-loss Bama gets in. So that works itself out. Michigan State still has to play Ohio State. One of those are going to lose, and so if it's Ohio State, they're surely out. If Michigan State loses, probably out, just because of the strength there. And then Oregon has got to run the table and just kind of hope things fall their way. And then you're still going to have like an Oklahoma, Wake Forest who could be undefeated champs, and they're going to go in over Oregon as an undefeated conference champ if Oregon only has 1 loss. I get it would only beat Ohio State, but I think they still would undefeated-wise. Should be fun. I mean, there's some teams there. I think it's probably only 3 or 4, maybe 5 teams that are legitimately can win this thing. But a little bit of parity we're seeing there. You're getting a Wake Forest. You got OSU Baylor in the top 12, Auburn sitting there at 13. Which that's not too much, but Michigan, Cincinnati, obviously, BYU at 15, so some teams that haven't kind of been up there, all the time are flashing. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a good run here over the next few weeks. The Mayakoba Classic, final thoughts there. I think, the weather-wise, there's a little bit of pop-up showers, potential Friday. Winds still look great. That doesn't look like it's going to affect anything. Warm weather. Really, overall, I think it's going to be a great week in good scoring conditions. I don't see a wave advantage at all. Those little showers are kind of unpredictable, and the wind doesn't look to have any advantage one way or the other the first 2 days of the tournament. So should be a great week for them. Should be some lower scoring like we've seen in prior years. Moved up for me, Gary Woodland, probably one of my biggest moves up, just personally who I like. I don't even think he was on my radar when I started diving in Monday. Higo I like because I just think he's going to go under owned. I liked what he showed last week. I like his upside. I know he's been down a little bit, but if I'm going to get him in the 6Ks where I need cut makers and upside and he's going to be low owned, I definitely like that. Strillman, a guy, again, wasn't really on my radar. He's going to finish inside my top 25 final ranks, $7,200. Really good history here. I think he's made, what's his history? Decent history. So, and a lot of these guys have. He's got a 4th, a 20th, a 32nd, and then 2 missed cuts back to back. But again, good safe play down there, $7,200. Willie Z, Monday was kind of on the fringe play. Now he's fringe core for me, especially with potential low ownership compared to where he's been in the past. Wolf is probably my biggest risk reward of the week. Think I'm going in there. I don't think he's going to be too highly owned, and at the price and his upside. And if this, I'm kind of putting this playing out as a -22, -21. So a lot of Eagles birdies potential. And if his game's on like he was at Shriners when he got second, I'll take a chance on Wolf. Palmer is a guy that moved up quite a bit for me. He's an MME play only, but I just thought I'd mention his name. Some deep dive stuff looking at some of the course comps, what he's done there. Moved up into that pool, that player pool, next to last player pool for me when I'm looking at my big MME stuff. Fading or moving down for me, Answer. I don't know if I'm going full fade yet or how I'm handling that. I'll get to that on the Gups final thoughts. But really came down. I think it's going to be a big decision for everybody. And one thing it would advise is not to try to get over on all of them. But, JT Hovland, Answer, all within $200 to $500 of each other. And they're all going to be roughly within, call it 3% of each other in ownership. And they'll all be probably in the top 5 to 7 in ownership. What gets difficult if you try to get over on all of them is the way your builds will lay out. So out of those 3, Answer is the lowest for me on the fine. I like them. I get it. But I would definitely go JT first, and then if I take another one, it'll be Hovland, and then best left will be getting some unique light answer stuff, but I'll probably wind up just full fade and hope he doesn't kill me. Russell Henley, I think I talked about him yesterday. He's a guy that I'm okay fading. He's going to be up there in the top 10 in ownership, $8,200. He's just doesn't rank out as well for me. Not much on the deep dive I like. I get it, but easy pass for me. The Knox, he was a guy that I didn't mind, but he's up there, and let's see, he's probably top. I'm wrapping up the final ownership, but he's probably top 15 in ownership, and so those are spots I can get different or cut those guys out of my pool, and that just eliminates some of that ownership I don't want in the pool. He's all right, whatever. But the ownership play, I'm going to fade or move down off of him based on when I'm looking at salary, ownership, and my rankings all mixed into it. Names that pop for me, Fratelli, still like him. I think he's got high upside here. Not a name I don't think many are talking about. Showed some life last week. He's a boomer bust guy. I've played him before, and he's one of the guys where sometimes you got to scroll down Thursday midday, and you're like, oh man, very probably more MME for me. He's right there at the end of the player pool. This is more of a gut deal. I did like what I saw last week. Some of it. Chris Kirk, again, probably right there around Fratelli. He's going to be much more popular than a Fratelli. Fits the course, fits this setup. I don't know if I get to him for sure, but as I looked into him more, he was a guy that I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. I got to see the final ownership. At $6,700, there's other guys around there that I've already mentioned that if they're half the ownership, I'll just take my chance on that. Davis Riley, he's a guy I think going under the radar still. Finished 7th last week, so similar setup this week. He's hungry, younger guy, great pedigree. We've talked about him a lot here in this new swing. I like him a lot at 6,500. And then CT Pan, kind of burned a lot of people at the Zozo. Really good history here. He's made a good bounce back tournament for him, and he's made 4 straight cuts. He's shown improvement every year he's been here. I don't mind CT Pan this week at all at $7,300. Leverage play of the week is easy. It's Brooks. If you think he's here to compete and can do it, he's going to be the lowest owned, probably in the 10K range. Real close between him, Hatton. Horschel will be next up above those two, but I think him or Hatton will be the lowest. And I think it'll probably wind up being Brooks. So he's your leverage play of the week if you want to get it. Monkey Knife Fight plays. Description is the link is in the description of the pod. If you want to check it out, use the code GUPS, GUPS. They do the same up to $100 match. I got 2 plays this week. Let's get back. We had a good PGA run going. Lost last week. Wasn't even close because I didn't see the tournament playing. We knew it was going to play hard. I went light last week, but still, it was a loser's a loser. I did the Eagle Eye, which is 3X. I took Wolf, Pendrith, and then those are 2 I was pretty much going to take. Went and did digging, looking at our stats and all that in the PGA Tour. And Sam Ryder kept popping up for me for par 5 scoring, Eagles, all that kind of stuff. He's 3rd on the tour this season alone in Eagles. So I'm going to take Wolf, Ryder, and Pendrith to get over 3.5 Eagles in the entire tournament. So if they get 1 each, then we just need one of them to pop twice, and we will cash that. The next one is more or less 5X. I'm taking Mito, Seamus Power, and Carlos Ortiz all to get over 18.5 birdie or betters this week. If all 3 of them do that, that pays us 5X our money. Remember, monkeyknifefight.com. Use the code GUPS to deposit. Get that match today. I will have my Thursday night football showdown on tomorrow's Cup with Gup, and I'll have Monkey Knife Fight picks for it. On the coin flip, I'll have NFL and college football, main slate NFL and college football Monkey Knife Fight picks. And then, so tomorrow we got Cup with Gup, Thursday night football showdown, and live looking at the Mayakoba. I'll do the coin flip, my breakdown of NFL. Then Thursday night, the hot route with Ryan. We'll do our game-by-game preview for the main slate in DFS. Friday, the read option with Bobby Berger will come out. We will try to go crush another college football Saturday after some big hits in the Warrior Room. I was able to take down 40K, so it was huge last week. Looking to go back at that again. I think we got a pretty interesting slate this week. College football tonight again. Not big slates, but pretty decent little pots for some action and stuff like that. And then obviously we got big card UFC Saturday, NASCAR Saturday and Sunday, final races of this season. So come check us out. Use the code CUP. You get 20% off. It gives you a free 7 days to try everything we have out. Guys are willing and ready to help you. GC Warrior Room is a great community. Don't forget, rate and review us on iTunes, even if you've already done it. Screenshot me over. And you will be in the drawing for Millie ticket. We're going to do some Millie ticket giveaways next week. Appreciate you guys. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a blessed evening and good luck with the Mayakoba.